Welcome to the Prophecy Club. I'm going to say I don't want to think that the tribulation might start this particular Feast of Trumpets. But I do want to say that when it starts, it will definitely start on the Feast of Trumpets. And the reason I know that, and I cover this in my book, Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, that without question, Jesus does return on the Feast of Trumpets. And since the tribulation we know is 7 years long, all you got to do is back up 7 years and you arrive once again at Feast of Trumpets. I don't want to believe that September 6th, this next Feast of Trumpets, at sundown, I don't want to believe that we're going to hear, like Revelation 6:1 says, and when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. I don't want to believe that that first seal is about to open. I don't want to believe that we're about to hear the sound of thunder. I don't want to believe the Antichrist that is not currently on the earth will be released from currently falling endlessly and helplessly in the bottomless pit. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe that we have more time. And that's the reason, by the way, one of the other reasons that I'm calling people to the Solemn September Assembly, September 6 to 8. Go to watchmanstrumpet.com to get signed up, which, by the way, we now have over 100 people, but in my opinion, we need to be up close to 500 to really do what we need to do in terms of praying for this nation. But that's not the point I'm trying to get to today. I want to believe that the tribulation is not going to start. However, some of the thing I'm about to bring you right now certainly is pointing to it. Now, I've talked about some other reasons why I believe we got several more years. So let me make it clear. I'm not setting a date. God has not told me that the tribulation starts this Feast of Trumpets, September 6th. I do not know that. I'm simply looking at the signs. So today, we're going to be talking about some of the signs. Now, I wish that Hal Turner had put this out yesterday so that you could have already heard what I'm about to read. I'm going to try to get this out early today to our various sources to get it out where you listen to it, but it probably is going to be history by the time it reaches you. Nevertheless, let's get to it because it's important. August 10th, 2021, HalTurnerRadioShow.com. Just before noon today, Tuesday the 10th, August 2021, I received information that the U.S. military has, quote, changed its DEFCON condition. Upon further inquiry, I was told we are now at DEFCON 3, but I was not able to find out why. Now, what does DEFCON mean? DEFCON 5 is low, and that's normal or peacetime. DEFCON 4 is moderate or increased security. DEFCON 3 is substantial, meaning the Air Force is ready in 15 minutes. Not been used since 9/11. 2 is severe. Army is ready in 6 hours. Last time that was used was the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. 1 is nuclear war is now imminent. That has never been used. Now, what they're just saying is we just moved to DEFCON 3 if this is all accurate. And it's saying that the Air Force is now ready in 15 minutes. It's saying that the threat is now substantial. Unfortunately, there's more. So he says, I reached out to my other sources at 4:54 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I was told that we're now at, listen, at DEFCON 2 due to Iran. Well, let me just tell you, if we are at DEFCON 2, it's not over Iran. But let's go on and read what he says. That same source also said it can be moved instantly to DEFCON 1 if Israel moves independently against Iran. Again, I'm thinking it's really not Iran, but again, HalTurnerRadioShow.com doesn't listen to our program. He doesn't apparently believe in prophets or dreams and visions. He didn't believe God speaks like that, so he lacks that information. Sorry for him. That last part sent chills up my spine, he says. Israel has been openly saying that they feel that the time has come to go to war against Iran, and they have also repeatedly stated that they're willing to do it alone if they have to. Then, even on September 11 of 2001, during the attacks of that day, we only reached DEFCON 3. The only time we have ever been at DEFCON 2 prior to that was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, if we are really at DEFCON 2, if we're really at DEFCON 2, trust me, it's not over Iran, it's not over Israel. It is because there's about to be a military coup, a military takeover of the United States government to kick out JB and all his corrupt people. Now, let's go on. The only time we were at DEFCON 2 prior to that was the Cuban Missile Crisis. That is how serious DEFCON 2 is. It is not set lightly or for trivial situations. In my personal opinion, and I have no solid intel to back this, just my gut feeling, the reason we have set DEFCON 2 is because we already know what Israel is going to do, and we may also know when. If my gut feeling is right, very big trouble is about to break loose in the world. Have your preps topped off. Be ready to keep yourself and your family safe. And yeah, if you need some kind of EMP shield, we're going to send you to empshield.com. Use the promo code PROPHECY. If you need some kind of survival food, we send you to heavensharvest.com. Promo code there is STAN. If you're needing precious metals, gold, silver, and stuff like that, we're going to send you to cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Just say Prophecy Club when you call. But, if we are at DEFCON 2, I said if, I do not know that we are. If we are at DEFCON 2, then it's not over Israel, it's not over Iran, it's because America is about to go into the internal revolution, just like Dmitri was told in 1984. Now let's go to the next thing that ties in. Today, now this is dated August 11th. I'm recording this now at 11:41 a.m., 8/11 of 2021. As of now, it has not happened. However, he says today, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, the first nationwide test of the emergency broadcast system, but this is a strange warning, he says. Today, Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021, the United States government will conduct its first nationwide test of the new emergency alert system. Now, the old one was called the emergency broadcast system. Well, we heard that back in the 80s and 90s. This is called the emergency alert system, formerly known as the emergency broadcast system, but he says there's something very strange about this particular test. This test will allegedly last 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes? Well, I remember some of the emergency broadcast systems. We grew up with that, and it was 60 seconds of annoying beeping and, if this had been a real emergency, you've been instructed to turn to some other channel. Well, we remember that. But nothing 5 or 10 minutes long? Then what are they doing? What are they doing 5 or 10 minutes? And here's a bigger question. What if it's really not 5 or 10 minutes? What if it is going to totally take over all of the radio, all of the TV, all of the cell phones, all communications? If it flies through the air, if it goes through some kind of a wire, it can all be interrupted by them. In other words, what happens if what they really say is the military has just conducted a coup and some kind of official language that says basically the military is in charge? Go back to the article. So the test will allegedly last 5 to 10 minutes, and your TV and phones may have to be rebooted after the test. According to a notice from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the nationwide test will reach all TVs, radios, and cellular phones. The test will begin sometime between 2 p.m. and 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time, which, of course, translates into 1 p.m. Central Time, and he gives the other times. Here's what makes this test very interesting. He says in the 59 years that he has been alive, no test of the emergency broadcast system has ever lasted 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll agree with him. I've never seen one 5 to 10 minutes. The notice from FEMA and from TV and cell phone providers warns every user that, after this test is completed, you may have to reboot your device to return it to a normal operation. What? That's very unusual. To reboot, unplug it or shut it off for 15 to 20 seconds, I'm going to say a minute. Pull the plug out of the wall if necessary and wait 15 to 20 seconds, then plug it in. Here is one such notice from Optimum to your cable TV subscribers. In my life, no such test has ever required a reboot of anything, and I'll agree with him. This sounds like a download and a reboot rather than just some test. People around the USA are now openly wondering on social media if some type of separate, perhaps sub-audible signal is going to be transmitted during this test to, quote, unlock hidden features on smart TVs, smartphones, features which maybe no one knew about. The length of the test is very odd in of itself. But then a reboot? Folks who are fearing this is some kind of type of nefarious action by the government. They are already arranging to shut off their devices before the test, to keep them unplugged and or in a blackout bag, to prevent their cell phones from even being receiving these signals. Some are even going further than that, disconnecting their electrical power from the cables, satellite TVs, to prevent any download or special software or activation of, quote, hidden features. I also inquired with some techie folks I know to why a reboot might be needed, and the answer was simple. Older cable and satellite boxes have always had the emergency broadcast system override within them to allow the government to, quote, grab your attention. But the technology to grab your box did not also include the instructions to resume normal operation after the government grabbed it. So for those older boxes, you may need to have a reboot. It's that simple. In other words, they're saying there's nothing nefarious about it. That's what they're saying. When that trumpet sounds, we want to believe we get to hear it, when the first seal is open, the sound of thunder. When that happens, the white horse is released. We know that the audible voice told me that the 7 seals play over 7 years, the 7 trumpets play over 7 months, and the 7 vials play over 7 days. However, I'm very adamant to say that each seal does not necessarily play over a period of 1 whole year, any more than the trumpets play over 1 whole month or the vials play in 1 specific day. It may very well be that there's 2 or 3 vials on the same day, 2 or 3 trumpets. Matter of fact, I think the first, second, third, and fourth trumpet play all over about a 2-week period. So if that's true, we could see the first, second, and third seals play very close, very quickly. Now, well, the first seal is the white horse, and he was given a bow and a crown. He went forth to conquer. And I believe that that's saying that God is sending out his angel. If there's white horse, red horse, black horse, pale horse, those are all angels of God. They're not demons. They're angels of God sent forth to bring judgment on the tares, judgment on those people, in order to get those people that can or will be saved. It's a recruiting tool. But the white horse is war. Then you look at the second seal. That's the red horse. He takes peace from the earth, and he's given a great sword. So the red horse is also war. Then you look at the third one, and then the black horse is given a pair of balance in his hand. And I heard a voice out of the 4 horns of the golden altar saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. In my opinion, that is saying that you basically work all day long for enough money just to get food for that day. In other words, there's no profit, there's no good times. You're working just to survive. That happens after a couple of big wars. We also know that when the Antichrist is released from falling endlessly and helplessly in the bottomless pit, one of the first things he does is move to become the world leader, and that takes war. Then you go to Daniel chapter 7, it says that there are 10 kings, and then he overcomes 3 of those kings to become the world ruler. Meaning, the first thing he's going to do when his feet set on this earth again is going to start war. Okay. So if we're looking for war, then we might say, well, are there any other nations that are even prepared to go to war? Are there any other nations that are angry enough to go to war? Unfortunately, yes. Headline: Hal Turner, August 9. Historic: Russian troops enter China for joint exercises, and the stated purpose, bring down American arrogance. I mean, did you ever think it'd live to be a time where you'd see the Russians actually being allowed to go into China and conduct joint exercises and openly state the purpose is to bring down America? I mean, I laugh, I giggle, but it's not laughing. I mean, it's really serious. For the first time in their military history, he says, Russian forces entered China to conduct a strategic exercise that seals the conflicting course of the three superpowers. Russia and China have decided to fight together in the Asian-Pacific region against the United States under a unified battle center. Yeah. The military forces of the two countries will operate under the orders of a single, listen to this, mixed composition. In other words, they have a mixture of their leaders working together, and of course, they're saying openly that they plan to destroy America. Now, is that going to happen? No, that's not the way it happens, because the angel told Dmitri specifically that then God would raise up China and Japan and many other nations. They'd go against the Russians. They'd defeat the Russians. And they'd back the Russians to the gates of Paris, where they sign a peace treaty. But they make the Russians their leader. Then, under the leadership of the Russians, all the world goes down to attack Israel. That's Armageddon. Israel can't count on the help of the Jews in America, so she cries for Messiah. Jesus returns in the clouds and defeats the armies of the earth. In other words, they're planning to work together. Russia and China are planning to work together to take down America. But that's not the way it happens. Now, that's kind of the good news. It tends to be saying, well, this ain't the time. Okay, so if it's not the time when Russia and China really do link up to go against America, then what's really going on? I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's a shot across the bow. I think that Russia and China have been informed by the Moloch and Baal worshippers, and nothing gets by these people. They know and they understand everything that's going on out there. There are no secrets out there in the very top echelons of anything, in my opinion. And so they know that the military is getting ready to do a coup in America. And so China and Russia uniting together is a shot across the bow. It's basically saying, if you do this, if you kick out the Moloch and the Baal worshippers, and if you put in Christianity as leadership in America, which is really what we're talking about, then we're going to hit you. We're going to attack you. Well, it's a threat that we know does not come yet. However, all of this is saying that we are getting close. We are getting close to the potential of the first, second, and perhaps not too long down the road, the third seal being opened. In other words, we're actually close to some world wars starting. I mean, right now, when you've got Vladimir Putin saying, hey, I got the biggest, fastest military out there, we can see anything and everything you're doing, and you can't stop us. We can take you, when he is openly saying, America, we can take you out. In so many words, when he is openly saying that, we can't deny. I mean, we can't be silly. We can't be stupid. We are on the brink of a major war. Major war. Well, that's what happens when the tribulation starts. We are coming up on the Feast of Trumpets, which is why we're having the Solemn September Assembly on the Feast of Trumpets. Yes, I know. We would probably already have 500 or 600, maybe 700 people signed up for the Solemn September Assembly if it was on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know, I understand. But I didn't set the date. God arranged the Feast of Trumpets to be falling on these dates years ago, at the beginning of time, because it's based upon the movement of the moon. So we have to bend our schedule to God's schedule. We've got to say, God, do you want me to go to this? Do you want me to go because you know that I know and I understand what time we're in? We know, I know, I mean, I'm talking about you. Lord, do you know that I know what desperate trouble America's in? Do you want me to go to this Solemn September Assembly? Do you want me to go there and to pray, to fast for 48 hours, and to see that microphone every 5 minutes has someone else behind it praying? Every 5 minutes, someone rotates in to give the next prayer. Do you want me there praying, fasting, and seeing that that microphone stays busy for 48 hours? Do you want me there to pray for America, to see that when this internal revolution starts, America is given more time? We want to see whatever judgment is coming is softened and delayed. Or, if we don't get enough people, then we may see that the tribulation is about to start. I really don't think so, because I think we've still got to see a massive influx of people whose name is not in the book of life come in. We've still got to see the miracles. We've got to see the sports stadium crusades. That all has to happen before the tribulation starts. So that's what I really believe. But on the other hand, as a watchman, I've got to tell you it's a possibility. When we're looking at Russia and China openly saying, by the way, they started the exercise when? August 9 to 13. And Michael Lindell is having his cyber symposium August 10, 11, and 12. 72 hours he is broadcasting. And if you've watched those, you see that they're trying to expel and reveal all of the truth about all of the cheating. Now, where are we? What I want to believe might not come to pass, that is, unless we get enough people praying. What I want to see is the bad guys are kicked out and the good guys are in charge. August 4, 2021, Pastor Massey. So he called, talked to Leslie, then he called him, talked to me, talked to her about some other things. But then he says, I got to talk to Stan. So he said, I had a dream August 4th. He didn't write the dream down. He doesn't write his dream down. He calls me. He tells me the dream and I write them down. So this was the dream. He says, I dreamed that I was in a big room with Trump and all the media people from ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, even CBN and Pat Robertson were there. And they locked the door. With the door locked, the televisions on the wall began broadcasting the real story of what happened in the election and how DJT really won the election. All of these executives from ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, all the rest of them, all were sitting there watching their networks, and they were all reporting that DJT had taken over the entire country, and they could not stop this broadcast from going out on their particular broadcast network. The entire system behind the media was all taken over by DJT and his team, and they were helpless to stop it. In that they are about to do a test of the new EAS system, the Emergency Alert System. Could it be that all of this is about to start? Could it be that we are at the door of the tribulation starting? Well, I don't want to believe that, but something big is coming. Whatever is coming, here's what we want to do. We want to be on our knees, fasting and praying. Just like Coverstone was told. He was told, those people that are out fasting and praying, that there's going to be a mighty rushing wind come in. Once again, we'll see tongues of fire set on the heads of those people praying. Gathered praying. Those people gathered praying, tongues of fire. I want to be in a group like that. When's the last time you were in a prayer meeting where it lasted 48 hours? Everybody there was fasting for 48 hours, and it was through the night, round the clock. Every 5 minutes, somebody's behind the microphone praying something different. When's the last time you've been in a prayer meeting like that? Most prayer meetings go 30 minutes to an hour. 48 hours of straight prayer through the night, everybody fasting. If the mighty rushing wind shows up, if the tongues of fire, if the miracles begin, that's a very good place for them to begin. You go to watchmanstrumpet.com, get signed up. September 6 to 8. No, I know it's not Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're going to have to take off work. But look at it this way. Just simply say, Lord, do you want me to go? Do you want me to go? In Jesus' name, speak to my heart. Somehow let me know to go. Because if you tell me to go, then I know the money's not a problem. The day's off, not a problem. Everything else can be arranged if you want me to go. Do you want me to go? In Jesus' name. Watchmanstrumpet.com. Watchmanstrumpet.com. I'm calling all believers to bring your shofar and fast 48 hours and pray together September 6 to 8. We're declaring war against the devil and proclaiming victory throughout the land. Go to watchmanstrumpet.com and get signed up. Watchmanstrumpet.com for all the details. Order School of the Watchman Teachers Package. You get 2-foot by 3-foot full-color updated prophecy charts, my personal handwritten spiral ring notebook of the book of Revelation, 5 DVDs of the School of the Watchman, all valued at $325 for a gift of $200 at prophecyclub.com. School of the Watchman Teachers Package, 2-foot by 3-foot full-color updated prophecy charts, my personal handwritten book of Revelation, the 5 DVDs of the School of the Watchman, valued at $325 for a gift of $200 at prophecyclub.com. Pastors inviting me in to teach the School of the Watchman get the package free. 785-266-1112 for the invitation. In 2017, I memorized the book of Revelation. I was shown a secret door linking the feasts to the prophecies of Revelation. For the first time, the book of Revelation can be put in correct chronological order. You can understand Bible prophecy. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 5. 1 for $20, but don't do that. 5 for $35 or 10 for $60. What is the most important information to every beating heart on the globe? After accept Jesus, it would be, don't take the mark of the beast. Those taking the mark of the beast do not get soul death, but are tormented in the lake of fire and brimstone for eternity. How do you tell them? Give them miss the mark. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 10, 1 for $20, 10 for $30, and 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com. Over the past 32 years, I've collected the best 101 prophecies from Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldea, Leslie Johnson, Henry Gruber, Shane Warren, Terry Bennett, Marie Sklar, Augusto Perez, Doug Metzger, and more. It's called God's Warnings for America. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 5. 1 for $20, but don't do that. 5 for $35 or 10 for $60. My new book is called Tribulation, Secrets in Daniel because that's what it does. It shows you the part of Daniel you need to know, being you're about to be a tribulation saint and will desperately need to know and understand about the last days you live in. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 10, 1 for $20, 10 for $30, and 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com. In How Pre-Trib 1, I expose the dirty little secrets pastors don't want you to know, which is why sometimes they can't preach the truth, especially about the rapture. Then, using the secret door, I explain the truth about the rapture, and then I rebut 25 claims pre-tribbers use to prove pre-trib. You'll finally know the truth about the rapture. We offer it in shrink-wrap sets of 10, 1 for $20, but don't do that, 10 for $30, 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com. That's prophecyclub.com. This is the best deal we've ever offered at the Prophecy Club. You get 10 How Pre-Trib 1, 10 Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, 10 Miss the Mark, 5 God's Warning to America, 5 Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, 40 books, gift of $100 at prophecyclub.com.
We just uploaded the most recent 7-fold Miracle Crusade videos to watchprophecyclub.com. Subscribe either monthly or yearly and get a free 3-day trial. Cancel anytime. Over 250 Prophecy Club titles available for you from the past 25 plus years. WatchProphecyClub.com.
The easiest way to listen and watch Prophecy Club YouTube videos is to download our free app from the App Store. This is not to be confused with WatchProphecyClub.com, where you can watch 26 years and over 300 DVDs for a subscription of $20 a month or $200 a year. The app allows you to watch our YouTube videos and listen to our radio programs very easily. Go check it out at your App Store. If your heart is with us, I'm asking you to become a member. Actually state before God that you are with our vision to win thousands upon thousands of souls, to teach prophecy and walk in 7-fold miracles, to be a blessing and give answers in the time of trouble. If this is your heart, go to prophecyclub.com and click on membership. Only takes 90 seconds. This will help us to get a loan for an office and a church to do the work of the ministry. prophecyclub.com. CornerstoneAssetMetals.com is owned by a prophecy student who reads his King James Bible and supports Prophecy Club. Call CornerstoneAssetMetals.com for gold, silver, palladium, rhodium bars, or coins. They can help you roll over your IRA, 401k, so tell CornerstoneAssetMetals.com Prophecy Club sent you. Click like, share, subscribe, and send to a friend.